We're living in a society that is so full of external expectations and demands that we wonder, what's the point? All these have-tos and shoulds seem so fake, they don't resonate with our hearts. And so we ask ourselves, what is the point of life? Picture this. You're walking on the sidewalk and there are black tiles and white tiles there, and you feel this urge to only step on the black tiles. And just like that, you created a game with rules and purpose. If you step on the white tiles, game over. Now, the tiles were just there, the sidewalk was just there. It didn't communicate to you a game. You created the game yourself. It was you who created the purpose. Now, our ability to make sense of things, be it for work, for pleasure, for playfulness, is immense. We constantly create that without even realizing, just for fun, just for sheer playfulness. Life is so rich. It offers us countless ways to interact with the outside world, to play, to create meaning. But then we go again to live in this world with so many expectations and demands, excessive busyness and worries. It doesn't stop. And we go like this so much that we lose touch. We lose touch with our own playfulness, with our inner capability of our lust for life. And so we ask ourselves, what is the point of life? Here's the first major key I would like to share with you in this video. You choose the purpose of your life. It is not something somebody else tells us. And I know we live in a society that we're used to other people telling us stuff. But the purpose of your life, it is yours. You create. Now, somebody else can share their purpose with you, and that might inspire you to dream bigger, to live more. But that's their purpose. Your purpose is yours, and it is your responsibility. And here is another major key. Our lives are our biggest project. There is nothing bigger in our lives than our lives itself. It requires us to show up and decide what we want out of it. If you think about it, if you create your own business, you're gonna sit and think, what is the mission? How is the business model? How does this work? What is your purpose with this business? Or any side project you might have. Maybe you want to have a band and you think about what type of music it is, what are the references, and come together as a group. Or you want to write a book and you have to decide, what is it that you're going to write about? Everything that we're creating in our lives, we're constantly deciding what we want to do and what do we want to communicate. And it is the same thing with our lives. But the thing is, we don't treat our lives as such as an important thing in that sense, because if we just stop to assess with ourselves, like, what do I want? How was my week? How was my day? What am I grateful for? What would I like to do next week? If we start having more of these touch points with ourselves, like check-ins, as we do with any project, just like you do in your office with your team, when you have sittings, maybe once a week, that you just check, how is everything going? How about we do that with life? Because again, that is our biggest project. So how about we treat it as such? We dedicate more of our time and energy and care to consider how we want to live and come back to ourselves with the self-connection to set these stones. So in a way, we are creating these projects and these ideas and these hobbies all the time and attributing purpose to them. But then we stop and ask, what is the point of life? It is kind of comical because we're so good at it in a way. But for some reason, we're just not taking care of our lives the same way as we take care of our work, of hobbies, of projects, of side hustles. So the invitation here to find the purpose of your life is start treating your life as your biggest project, because that is what it is. See, we attribute meaning The sidewalk was there for walking. Sure, there is a meaning, but there's a meaning that we as humans attributed to it. We humans have decided the chairs are to sit on, but if you have a chair at home and you want to use it as a shelf, you can do it. We are the creators of meaning. We are attributing meaning to stuff all the time. Things don't have intrinsic meaning. We are the ones attributing meaning to everything. So here's a question for you. Why expect a ready-made answer to the question, what is the purpose of life? When we don't have any issue attributing meaning to all kinds of things. We don't have issues listening to music only for pleasure or eat food to nourish our bodies and to have a nice sensory experience or to work to pay for that food that we eat. We are constantly attributing meaning. So how about we attribute meaning to our lives as well? Now, the fact that we are the ones attributing meaning to everything also means that if we say life is pointless, then that's what we get, because that's the meaning that we gave to life. That is a consequence of being the creators of meaning. We can also say something has no meaning at all. Well, nothing has intrinsic meaning beyond the meaning that we give ourselves. And if we cannot give it meaning, well, it was our choice to not give it meaning. Another point to bring into awareness is that things can have multiple purposes and purposes can coexist. So for instance, dancing, listening to music, humor, the pleasure of togetherness, they can all be an end in themselves for the sheer joy, for they are all playful and joyful. But we can also do exactly the same things with different purposes. So for instance, you can dance to impress somebody on the dance floor or to burn calories or to dance a competition. It is the same thing, it is dancing. But why are you doing it for? It's solely dependent on the meaning that you attribute to it. We can attribute multiple purposes for anything, some created by ourselves and also some created socially constructed, like the meaning of a brand of clothes, attributing social status, or as I mentioned before, the chairs, things we sit on, but we humans decided that. So unconsciously, yeah, we defined the meaning, the purpose of a chair, and we are not even aware that we are the ones that created it anymore because it's so socially accepted and spread. But nothing says that you cannot make a chair into a shelf. Life is not pointless. Life is an incredibly rich potential of points, of purposes, of meanings, if you want it to be. What matters though is that the meaning is truthful in your heart, that it really resonates with you, that it's not just something you're saying because it sounds cute, because the board and the investors are going to enjoy it. Like, is it true? Is that what really resonates with your heart? And sometimes it is hard to attribute purpose because we're not really connected with our hearts. We have lost ourselves, and that is the sad part of it. But that also means that we have this invitation that if we want to establish purpose, the way through is not only asking what is the purpose, but asking ourselves, what do I want and who am I? So this is the main insight that I want to share with you in this video. What matters is that you know what you want and that you know yourself. Purpose is derived from that. If you don't know what you want, if you don't know who you are, life will feel purposeless. And even if you say there's a purpose, it's probably something fake because it's not true in comparison to what is actually in your heart. For someone, the point of life might be to create beauty through building beautiful homes and museums like an architect. For other people, it might be to share their voice and sing, or to take care of their family. And then for other people, it might be to solve pressing human issues like climate change. As long as it is true in their hearts, everybody else has their purpose, and it's so different. And it's not a single purpose in life. Maybe the purpose in life is just to be who you are. Maybe the question is not what is my purpose? What is the purpose of life? Maybe the question is, who am I and what do I want? Because your purpose is not something outside of you. It's not something for you to simply do. Your purpose is something for you to be. Your purpose is a natural expression of you being you. When you are being yourself, releasing from any fear and shame and confusion that is holding you back, so you surrender to yourself, to what you want, to what you love, then you are living your purpose because you are being you. You are expressing you. It is not about life's unique meaning. It is about you finding yourself and being yourself. So I ask you, who are you and what do you want? What makes you alive? Do you dare to acknowledge and take the responsibility of going after what you want? These are the real questions that we are to ask ourselves when we're feeling purposeless. And these are the questions that get us back to ourselves and to live our lives with purpose and joy. Because remember, we're here to live, so let's do it with joy. To learn more about spiritual growth, get your free guide, What is Spiritual Growth? You will find the link in the video description below. My name is Aline Ra M, spiritual guide, healer, teacher, and I thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today.